So this time, this will be our last lesson for this week. Actually, it kind of brings everything together. Is going from a equation to a graph. So what's going to happen this time, if we go through the steps again, we're still working with y equals mx plus b. Okay. So where's my mouse? So the first thing we do is we're going to identify the rate of change, which is the m. And it's going to be attached to the x variable usually. And this may change in the future. But for right now, it's going to be attached to the x variable. What I mean by it's going to change in the future is if we do like costs or something per minute, the x may change to an m for minutes or u for units or something like that. Okay, so really identify the rate of change, find the y-intercept. You guys can do both those. Then we first graph the y-intercept. That's the first thing we do. Then from the y-intercept, and that's very important, very, very important, is from the y-intercept, apply the rate of change. So you apply the rise and run from the y-intercept, and you put a dot there. And then you just connect the two lines, two dots, not two lines. So let's do this first one. And I'm going to make my pen. Let's use purple today, and let's use a nice big fat one so I make the dots. All right. So if we take a look here, first things first, let's identify the rate of change. So my rate of change is right here. So m equals 2 over 3. Then secondly, I'm going to identify my y-intercept, which is this. So b equals 1. So the first thing we do is we chart the y-intercept, graph the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 1, so I'm going to put a dot right on the 1 there. Let's fill it all in there. Then from there, I'm going to do my rise over run, which is 2 rise over 3 run. So we're kind of going to do a reverse triangle here. So we're going to go up 3, up 2 then over 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's where we're going to put our second dot. You don't have to draw that line that I did, right? You can kind of eyeball it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a line here. And I'm going to draw a line cutting through those two dots. Okay? And there. We graphed it as such. So first thing we do, graph the y-intercept. Second thing we do, we go up and over using our rise over run. Then lastly, we draw a line between them. So first thing I do is I can identify my rate of change. So my rate of change is beside the x, so it's right here. So it's minus 2 over 5. Then my y-intercept's right here. So b equals 4. First thing I do is I graph my y-intercept. So 4 is my y-intercept. Oops. All right, something's up with my pen. Oh, come on, pen. 1 second as I figure out why my pen's acting all weird. It's entered mouse mode. All right. Okay, I got the pen issue figured out. So first thing I do is A, don't press that little button on my pen because I don't know what it does. Second thing is I graph my y-intercept. So my y-intercept's 4, so I'm going to graph it right there on the 4. Now I'm going to do my rise over run, and I go from my point here, -2, 5. So -2, therefore I'm going to go down 2, and I'm going to go over 5. And there's where I'm going to put my second dot. -2, so down 2, over 5. And then I draw a line to go between those two dots. Boom. Let's change that to, of course I can't. Select. Boom, there's my line. So first thing, graph the y-intercept, then go from your point to the slope. In this case, down 2 over 5. I always connect the negative to the top number. So I can always go up and down, and then I always go right. Next one. So this one here, let's identify our two things. So what's my slope? What's my rate of change? Oh, my rate of change is right there. It's a 2. Now, the thing you have to remember here is if it's just a number, there's still something under there. It's actually a 1 under there, 2 over 1. Just because it's a number doesn't mean it's anything there. Then we go b equals, in this case, it's -4. So first thing, graph the y-intercept. So I'm going to graph the y-intercept, I put a dot right there at -4. Then I'm going to graph my rise over run. So this is my rise, this is my run. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1. And that is where I'm going to put my second dot. Right there. Then once I have that done, all I need to do is draw my line. The year line's a little much nicer than that. But there we go. So my y-intercept, my y-intercept's -4. So I graph -4. My rise over run, up 2 over 1. And boom, draw a line. I have lots for you here to practice to get a hang of. So this one here, like once again, identify my rise over 1. This one's 1 over 3. And then my rate of change, no, sorry, my y-intercept is at oops, got ahead of myself, -5. So let's graph the -5 first. It goes there. Then from my y-intercept, I go rise over run. This one I'm going to go up 1 and over 3. Now, as I said before, you don't need that blue line on there. I'm just doing it for visual sake. Then once I'm done there, I just graph my line. And don't just graph the line between the two segments. Graph it all the way through your whole graph. Okay? Because the line doesn't exist just between this spot, and this spot. It keeps going on forever. All right, 2 more left. Oh, 3 more left. Wow. Oh, I forgot to put an X in here. That's right next there. So this one's a little different because I've rearranged the equation a little bit. Oh, I pressed that button again. we're saved. So m. So what's our rise over run? Well, it's attached to the variable, so it's right here. So it's negative 1 over 4. Okay. And our b value is the one that doesn't have a variable here, which is 4. So let's graph it. So take a look here. We're going to graph the 4 first, then negative 1 over 4. So we're going to go down 1 over 4. And there is my dot right there. Then let's draw our line. Now realistically, I should be drawing this line. I've been messing up. There you go. And there's our line. Now the last one is a little more, oh, not the last one. This one's a pretty easy one. So our m value, we find our m value first, our rate of change. It's right here, 3 over 4. Now our b value, we don't have anything here. It's all blank. But realistically, if it's blank, it's not there, it's a 0. Therefore, where do we start it? We put our dot at 0, right there. Then we go up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 4, and we are good to go. Then let us draw our line. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Let's go back, take away that weird one. There we go. And the last one. Oh, yeah, this one. Now this here is a little different. As you can see, I wrote y plus 2x equals 6. Now you're saying that doesn't seem right because everything else was in y equals mx plus b. Well, it kind of still is. Just this is on the same side, right? So all I have to do is move that over, right? Y equals 6. It's a plus on this side, so it's going to become a minus. And there we go. Now we're good to go. There is our m value, negative 2. If remember anything there's a 1 underneath it. And our b value equals 6. Let's graph it now. We graph our y-intercept, then minus 2 over 1. So we're going to go down 2 over 1, put our second point, and then we are going to draw a line. And it's just that easy. So there's our stuff for today. Enjoy making your graphs, and I look forward to seeing your feedback.